Roxamore Sports Network starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Can you feel that? Tell me, can you feel that? You see it coming? Yeah, let me help you with your vision, they losing their sight here. Time to send the world a message they might hear. Like Meek Mills, I'm making it quite clear. I'm chasing my dreams and fighting my nightmares. I'm going real hard, I'm talking words you understand, I'm talking real bars. I'm going everywhere, you know I'm talking real far. Yeah, it's time to raise a toast to this thing to the love the most. As I go from coast to coast, I'm talking north side, I'm talking south side, I'm talking east side, I'm talking west side. I'm going worldwide, I'm going worldwide, I'm going worldwide, I'm going worldwide. Yeah, it's time to let you know how I spit it when I flow. When I go and light a fuse and I set to let it blow. I'm talking worldwide, I'm going worldwide, I'm going worldwide, I'm going worldwide. Yeah, time to check my status and the GOAT is what it be. And you know I'm over 30, so my level is a G. And I may be from the hood, but I'm way beyond these streets. And my pockets hate a diet, so they always down to eat. Even though they screaming fame, and it's always spelling me. And I'll never hang it up till my mission is complete. And I'm looking at you haters, I suggest you take a seat. Cause it's all fun and games to a killer show his teeth. This is for them cats that be screaming homies. Claiming that you're real, but we know you're phony. Now I'm chillin' with my sons, they my one and only. Like the Turner brothers, yeah, we screamin' lions only. Step into this den, I welcome all who will dare. Never met a David, tell me whom shall I fear? Gotta rep the nation, black and gold is what I wear. If you look to your left, to your right, I'm everywhere. I'm talking north side, I'm talking south side, I'm talking east side, I'm talking west side. I'm going worldwide, I'm going worldwide, I'm going worldwide, I'm going worldwide. Yeah, it's time to let you know how I spit it when I flow. When I go and light a fuse and I set to let it.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the Roxamore Report here live on the Roxamore Sports Network. My name is Travis Newton, and I will be your host today, taking you through all of the action from the previous 2 weekends from the Pennsylvania Golden Gloves Boxing Association. All these events were live at the Monroeville Mall, brought to you on the Roxamore Sports Network. Let's get you started with some of the highlights from the previous 2 weekends. We start off with Xavier Schaefer from Boyce Gym taking on Kaysen Offfield from the USS Fight Academy. This was the Bantam final at 65 pounds. Let's take you through those highlights. This was the first ever fight for Xavier Schaefer. Once again, he's got those red gloves on, and he had a little bit of adversity. We're gonna see here, Offfield in the blue, connects with the right, knocks him down, but he's right back up. Schaefer wasn't too pleased after that performance, lays a nice right hand, gets him into the ropes. We now take it to the second round of this fight. Schaefer again, boxing like a veteran out there. Just his first fight, lands the right, working the combinations, going up high. A lot of skills from this young man at just 65 pounds. Definitely a lot of room for him to grow into his body. Working the combinations once again. And definitely not a bad fighter there by Kaysen Offfield from the USS Fight Academy. But in the end, it was Xavier Schaefer getting the dub. He gets his hand raised for the first time in his boxing career. So all the props to X, and good luck throughout the rest of his career. We're going to hop to a short break here on the Roxamore Sports Network. We'll be right back after this commercial. Welcome back to the Roxamore Report. We got 2 more fights on deck for you here before our next commercial, so let's get it started. Bout number 2, Regis Schultz from Wolfpack Gym taking on Justin Eldinger from Glorious Gym. This was at 100 pounds. Let's take you through the highlights. Round 1, Schultz versus Eldinger. Schultz in the red corner, laying a nice right hand there, working Eldinger back into the ropes. We now go to round 2. Schultz doing a good job throwing combination punches. You see left, right, connects over there on the hook.
That overhand right. Ooh.
And Eldinger just protecting himself in the corner.
They teach that over and over and over.
Schultz had the advantage throughout most of this fight. You see him tapping with the left and lands a nice right once again. Just too much experience there going against Eldinger. And Regis Schultz, the winner in this fight by decision. A nice looking young athlete there with a lot of potential in the boxing community. We'll now take you to our third, and it was our final main event fight from the first weekend from Pennsylvania Golden Gloves. This fight featured Zach Queen out of Jack's Gym taking on Connor McIntyre out of Wright's Gym. Sub-novice semifinal, 201 pounds. These were the big fellas. Let's see the tape from this one. Round 1, once again, 201 pounds. Zach Queen with the red gloves, Connor McIntyre with the blue. This was a great matchup in the first round. Just getting to know each other. Now coming in the second. For big guys, they had a lot of energy throughout the fight. Did a good job of keeping the pace up. Round 3, this is where McIntyre started to separate himself. Nice right hook, then comes in with the left-handed. And just toying with him. Continuing to throw nice punches, a devastating body shot there. McIntyre working the defense, and soon it was just too much. Connor McIntyre will get the win by TKO. Let's see what he had to say.
A little bit of ground to make up.
Yeah, I was just trying to see, evaluate Zach and see how he was doing. He looked gassed, so I figured I'd take advantage and go a little bit further at him. His jabs weren't as hard in that third round, so I took advantage of that and really hit him.
So that rounded off the action from our first weekend of fights from the Pennsylvania Golden Gloves. After this commercial break, we'll be right back with the second weekend, which has a lot of great fights. We'll be right there.
My name is Rick Manning. I started boxing when I was a kid, and I competed in the Golden Gloves. I started coaching boxing in probably late 90s. In 2000, we opened this gym, which is the 3rd Avenue Gym. We started, the scholarship was in 2012. How you qualify for it? We set a 3-fight policy, which as long as you're registered for the USA Boxing, you're registered to compete, you're going to school, you're within this family. You're within the boxing family. Donations are made out to the WPAL, Western Pennsylvania Police Athletic League. We're a 501c3 nonprofit, so donations are tax deductible. Contact me on my cell phone, 412-965-0703, or you can reach me by email at manningrdm147@netscape.net.
We are back here on the Roxamore Sports Network. Travis Newton with you. We'd like to thank you all for joining us today as we now move to the second weekend of action from the Pennsylvania Golden Gloves live from the Monroeville Mall. And we had a great time on the second weekend because we saw a lot of TKOs. These next 2 clips will feature the best ones from that weekend. We get things started with Keith Mosley out of Boyce Gym taking on Anthony Shook out of Glorious Gym in the cadet quarterfinal at 138 pounds. Let's take you there. Round 1, here we go. Keith Mosley in the red, Anthony Shook in the blue, and right away, a nice looking right hand knocks down Shook. Throughout the entire fight, Mosley was just too much for Shook. Shook getting in there once again. A strong left pushes him into the ropes, and these guys were just hammering throws away in the second round there. Shook trying to answer back, but leaving himself open. Got to keep those hands up. Now to the final round. Mosley looking to finish it. He knows he has the advantage, and there we go. The ref is going to call it a 3rd round TKO for Keith Mosley. Once again, Boyce Gymnasium representing as they do throughout most of their fights, getting the win there as we now take it to our next TKO. This was in the cadet quarterfinals at 132 pounds. Kevin Weinheimer from South Park Gym taking on Austin Dietke from Castle Boxing. Once again, 132 pounds. Let's see this fight. Kevin Weinheimer in the first round. He's someone with a lot of skill, but he gets tagged here in the first round. DK is going to land a nice right hand on him. As the two go back and forth, the referee's going to stop it. Weinheimer couldn't believe it as he thought he was defending himself there, but we do get the stoppage, now moving to round 2. Weinheimer not happy after getting that standing 8 count. He's coming out swinging for the last 2 rounds, knowing he's coming from behind. There you see him tagging DK. Now he needs checked on. Weinheimer getting a little screen time like he always does. Now round 3. So a pair of standing 8 counts. Nice jab. 1-2 punch. Weinheimer working the combinations, and once again we get a standing 8 count. Now Weinheimer trying to finish in the 3rd round. 1-2 combination. Follows it again. The referee's going to check out DK. Gives him the standing 8. But in the end, it's going to be the end of the fight. As we'll see the official going to wave it here after 8, saying that's just too much damage being put on by Kevin Weinheimer. So he will get the win, moving on to the semifinal in his next fight. So we're going to go ahead and take another short break here on the Roxamore Sports Network. We'll be right back with our last action. Two more fights remain here for the top moments from the Pennsylvania Golden Gloves second weekend. We'll take you now to Brandon Mahin from Boyce Gymnasium taking on Elijah St. Pierre out of Penn State. This was the sub-novice non-tournament fight at 155 pounds featuring 2 very skilled fighters. Let's take you to the highlights from this fight. Round 1, like I mentioned, 155 pounds, Mahin in the red. Elijah St. Pierre, what a great name for a fighter, in the blue. St. Pierre got a little bit rattled in the first round, but he came out swinging in the second and third, just piling the punches on Mahin. Both of these guys had a great fan attendance. It was loud in the Monroeville Mall for this fight. Elijah St. Pierre once again working his combination punches, throwing recklessly with the wild hands there. Gonna tie him up, but a nice left hand responding by Mahin. That got his fan base into it. And you can see both guys a little bit fatigued going into the 3rd round. Those punches starting to get a little bit slower, but St. Pierre once again tags him, head snapping back. But Mahin answering right back. This one was gonna go to the decision between these two fighters. St. Pierre, in the end, gets the win, but a great effort by Brandon Mahin. He will come in 2nd place in this fight, which takes us to our final fight of the night from the Golden Gloves, Western Pennsylvania. This fight had a lot of controversy. It featured Roxamore out of Boyce Gym, Brandon Watkins out of Castle Boxing. Let's run the highlights. So the first discrepancy in this fight came right away in the first round. You see Roxamore knocking down Watkins. We'll show you here in slow motion. Watkins, he's going to take the right hand, and you'll see his Right hand touching the mat, that should be a knockdown. It was not called for the standing 8 count. Instead, he just got a quick check. Now to round 2. Roxamore found himself in the corner. Like to see him in his future fights stay off the ropes, stay out of that corner area. But we'd like to see a lot more of this. That right hand settling right on the face of Brandon Watkins, one of the hardest punches we've seen this year through the Golden Glove fights, and coming out with a little bit of swagger. We'll see it in slow motion once again. Like I mentioned, the controversy. Normally in Golden Gloves boxing, you're going to see that called a standing 8 count. He was rocked by that punch. His legs were shaking. He put his head down, but no standing 8 count called. That's huge in the scoring for Roxamore. That brings us now to the 3rd round. These fighters very evenly matched. They were deucing it out all night in the premier fight of the night from Pennsylvania, Golden Gloves boxing. Exchanging blows once again. And we go to the decision. And Brandon Watkins gets the win. So like I said, there were a number of factors in this fight that really could have swayed the judge's opinion. You take that standing 8 count that should have been granted in the 1st round, and then the standing 8 count that should have been granted in the 2nd round. Let's hear what Watkins had to say.
He hit me. I didn't have my feet set. I was kind of, not really expecting to come, and he threw it, and it landed clean.
So Watkins claiming it's the hardest punch he's ever taken. That usually leads to a standing 8 count in this amateur boxing, especially in Golden Gloves. But Roxamore didn't get it, and it obviously affected his score. Our two commentators that we had both said that Roxamore deserved to win that fight, but not getting the 2 standing 8 counts, it definitely hurt in his scorecard. We'd like to give all the credit to Brandon Watkins. The kid came out and put up a great fight, had a great strategy, but we believe if those 2 8 counts were granted to Roxamore, he definitely would have got the judges' favors in that voting and would have got the win, so a controversial finish. We even spoke to a number of coaches that were there for Golden Glove saying, if that kind of punch that we saw in the 2nd round isn't going to get a standing 8 count, what is? It seems like you're really going to have to punish the fighters and put them into the ground to get those 8 counts. But it definitely leaves a lot of room for thought for these officials in the Golden Glove boxing. But we're going to leave it there. It was a good fight, just not the decision that we thought we were going to get on the side of Roxamore. So we're going to head to one more commercial break here on the Roxamore Report, and we'll be right back to introduce all of our sponsors for this report. We are back here on the Roxamore Report. Before we finish things up, we'd like to thank our sponsors that made this 6th episode a possibility. We get things started with Cager's Custom Artwork. Make sure to get your custom logos and artwork done for your home or business with Cager's Custom Artwork. You can find him on Facebook at Cliff Cager or give him a call at 412-915-6873. The next sponsor we'd like to thank is Wilson's Night Out. Come to Wilson's Night Out not just for a night out, but for an experience of Caribbean cuisine. Happy hour Monday through Friday, 5 to 7 p.m. with specialty drinks. Looking for that certain room to host parties, meetings, social events, receptions, repast, and more? Wilson's Night Out is the place to be. We now go and would like to thank Maggie Jason's Listings. Are you looking for a realtor to work hard for you? You found her. Maggie Jason's Listings encompass staging, professional photography, information boxes with top-grade promo cards, open houses, and target marketing. To learn more about her featured listings, call 412-999-9528. Next up, we'd like to thank the Hill District Federal Credit Union. The Hill District Federal Credit Union has serviced the community for almost 50 years. Our purpose is to improve the financial health of our members so that we are not just surviving, but thriving. For information on how to become a member, please stop in at 2021 Center Ave, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, 15219, or give us a call at 412-281-0822. Next up, we'd like to thank Big Rock and RAC Cleaning, a 5-star cleaning company rated by the people for both residential and commercial cleaning. If you're looking for a regular maid service or even a one-time clean, office clean, or even a post-construction clean, look no further. Big Rock and RAC Cleaning is the company for you. To inquire, call 412-203-8213. Up next, we have Worldwide. Make sure you get your copy today of the new release single, Worldwide by Boona, in all digital stores for just $1. Go to Amazon, iTunes, Spotify, and more to get your copy of Worldwide today. And finally, we would like to thank our sponsor, the Steel City Kickers. The Steel City Kickers are the largest all-female kickball league in Western Pennsylvania. They're in their historic 5th season, women-led and driven, empowering women among several communities, providing a healthy lifestyle through exercise. They are looking for women over 18 years of age to join the league. For more information, call 412-759-4904. So once again, we would like to thank all of you for joining us here on the 6th episode of the Roxamore Report. We'd like to invite you to check out our website at www.roxamoresports.com. Click on the scheduled tab to see what we have coming up throughout the rest of the month of March. Like we mentioned earlier in the promo, we have boxing on the 14th from Millvale. That'll be back to the Golden Gloves, Western Pennsylvania. We'd also like to remind you to follow us on Instagram, like us on Facebook, subscribe on YouTube, download our app, that's Roxamore Events, in the Apple and Play Store, or visit at www.roxamoresports.com. So once again, I'd like to thank you for joining us. My name's Travis Newton. I'll see you next time here on the Roxamore Report.